Time to go all out on Gilas'es' next assignment in the FIBA World Cup Qualifiers in the fifth window. Now let's bring back basketball analyst Juan Banal and former Gilas team captain Gabe Norwood. Aloha eats. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome back, Juan B.
It's always a pleasure, Andre, to be back. It's good to see you. It's been quite some time.
Yeah.
Hi, Gabe.
Last time you saw me, I was still a single man. I'm single in the sense that deeply engaged. Yeah, that's right. Well, Gabe, brother, thank you. Thank you, Coach Yang, for ending training early. And yes, we will order Aloha Eats again. Let's get to it, gentlemen. Fifth window of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Juan, I'll start with you. Gilas resumes their duty tomorrow, well, tonight, 12 midnight, against Jordan. And we did win our last assignment when we beat Saudi Arabia. At kakapasok lang kanina, it was released the final 12. Let's take a look. Right now, Gabe and Juan, we're going to flash. There it is. This is the final 12, as I mentioned. Bobby Ray Parks Jr., Ara Pogoy, Calvin Oftana, CJ Perez, Poy Eram, Dwight Ramos, Scotty Thompson, Japet Aguilar, Kai Soto, Kevin Kimbao, Jamie Malonzo, and big man Ange Kwame is our naturalized player. Juan, your initial thoughts on this solid lineup?
In all honesty, I actually like what I see. You've got a good mix of very young players, but you've got a good experience also behind them. I think all of the players have international experience, played in the FIBA tournament already at some point. And then we've got a good, tall, and athletic lineup. I think we have speed and height with this lineup. So I'm very optimistic with how they're going to be facing the two consecutive games that they're going to be playing in the coming days.
Well, Gabe, how about you? Being, of course, a former Gilas standout, former team captain, looking at it, I know we're going to delve deeper on the lineup. We're going to break it down some more. Some people I see online, some people say there's no pure point guard on this lineup. It's a big lineup. Your thoughts on this lineup that we just flash on the screens?
Yeah, I agree with Juan in terms of the length and athleticism and, being the defensive guy that I am, just seeing the defensive versatility. You got guys that can defend multiple positions. We got rim protectors and guys who are scrappy enough on the ball. So from the defensive side, I like what I see. Naturally there's going to be questions in terms of who's going to create shots, but we have some high level scorers at the same time that can shoot the three, get to the basket and create for others. So, it might be point guard by committee from 1 through 5, whoever's out there on the court.
Well, I did mention, if we take a look, so you did say already the answer to question number 3, point guard by committee. In fact, Dwight is only the only one listed as a point guard. If we take a look at the FIBA website, it's going to be a fast-paced game because, as you said, we have very athletic guys on the lineup with Jamie there, Malonzo, you have Scotty, you have Calvin, who's a big guy who can also stretch the floor, who's also quick player. Then you have RR there as well, Bobby Ray Parks. Juan, ikaw ba, yung nga binanggit nyo na rin ni Gabe, it's a big lineup, it's going to be point guard by committee. But it's not the traditional. Unlike during Gabe's time, there were point guards, pure point guards like Jimmy Alapag, L.A. Tenorio, Jason Castro. Then if you also add guys like, the Paul Lees, may mga pure point guards most recently, S.J. Belangel, R.J. Barrientos, Matt Nieto at some point as well. Ikaw ba mahalaga na wala yung ganon, yung pure point guard in this particular lineup and the way Coach Chot will be running things against Jordan?
I think one of the biggest advantages of having a legitimate point guard in your lineup is to be able to have a guy that could be the coach on the floor, to organize the team when everything's disarray, right? But I think it's a perfect time also that we actually have Gabe here because he's a point forward. He is built like a forward, but he thinks like a point guard, right? He brings down the ball. He is able to organize. So I think Dwight can manage that. I think Scotty Thompson has also changed his role with Barangay Ginebra, and that seems to be his role. So I think we've got a good number of guys. Ray Parks, again, he also sometimes thinks like a point guard. So we've got a good number of guys that can fill in that role, but to be able to bring down the ball, I think it's going to be a shared responsibility. I think we're able to manage that. We've got good ball handlers in our lineup. Our Pogoy can do that. And so even Calvin Aftana can actually bring down the ball. So anybody can do that, but I think the crucial and important role is to organize the team when everything is going haywire. And I think that's where an important high basketball IQ guard will come into play. And I think we have that on the lineup.
Well, Gabe, one of the issues every time Gilas competes, and you know this perfectly well because of the time constraints, the scheduling conflicts, and you only have a limited amount of time to get the chemistry going. Do you think this will be an issue, a concern for us as we begin the fifth window when we face Jordan and Saudi on Sunday?
Right. I mean, in a perfect world, right, you have all the time and all the preparation that you desire. But I like to think in this situation, since it's been basically a consistent group in terms of who's been in the pool, the familiar faces, and learning the system, it's just a matter of applying it now. So I'd like to think that chemistry shouldn't be too much of a factor. I think the biggest questions would be, like Juan was mentioning, in crunch time, who's going to be the five on the court, who's going to be the decision makers out there, kind of be the extension of Coach Chot on the floor. But chemistry-wise, it seems like a good group of guys that all get along and all genuinely like each other.
Gabe, you've been the leader. You've been a team captain of this team. You've been, the heart and soul of this team. Who do you see? Because I'm also looking at the age. Japet obviously is now the veteran. Can you imagine that? It seems like it was just yesterday. Japet was one of the young dogs of the team, right? During your team. Now he's the veteran of this team when it comes to representing the country. Who do you see? And we know Japet is really not that vocal type. You know that very well. And Japet leads by example on the court. He's not really like you or like Jimmy or like Ping even, who shouts like, let's go, But who do you see being that vocal guy, that passionate leader who can spark things and say, come on, guys, let's go, Laban Pilipinas Puso?
Yeah, I'm excited just to see how he builds off of his last couple games here in the PBA in terms of CJ and Scotty. I think that there's really opportunities for them to be those kind of lead guards and kind of take that next step in terms of their international careers. You have Ray Parks that has been steady along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Dwight, who's going to kind of by example as well, doesn't seem to be the most vocal player, but those two guys being, older statesmen on the team, even though they're still young, I think it's great opportunities for them to really step out of themselves and really lead this team.
Juan, nung last window, we lost to Lebanon even with Jordan Clarkson as our naturalized player. Now it's back to Ange Kwame, and Ange is still struggling to really fit in with that system of Coach Chot and talagang be that naturalized big man for them. He's not like Clarkson, obviously, who can create shots for himself and for his teammates because he is a big man. But last time I remember against New Zealand, he didn't do so well. What can we expect from Kwame in this window against Jordan? And also, maybe give us an idea on what, kumbaga, anong klaseng team ang makakaharap natin in Jordan?
Well, I think the last time that Ange played, there were a lot of adjustments internally, and then also he's coming off an injury, or he was, I think, may iniinda siyang injury noon, or but it's different. Like, I think, like what Gabe mentioned a while ago, you kind of want to look at the patterns of what's good is that all these guys are fresh off, playing high intensity basketball in their own leagues, maybe UAP, or the PBA. And basically, if you look at how Ange has been playing for the last couple of games of Ateneo, he's been doing well. Same way with Kiambao. I think even without having Junmar, we have a very tall. What we lose in having a legitimate big man on the floor, we have height and speed with Ange Kwame, very agile, even Kai, Japet, and then Poy Eram is also in the lineup. So I think they're all going to help out in the shaded area, which I think is going to give Jordan a problem. Jordan, although they have legitimate bigs, they have a disadvantage when it comes to the age. Their average age is roughly a lot older, around 30 plus years old. Our average age is much younger than that. So I think that's going to work out for us. We can run the floor. We can move more. We can get those offensive boards. And I think the bigs can all help out.
Well, let's continue this conversation, boys. I will ask you about Jordan, also Gabe later on. Our Gilas Pilipinas preview with former team captain Gabe Norwood and basketball analyst Juan Banal will continue after this really quick breather. Stay tuned to Sports Desk only here on CNN. And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Sports Desk only on CNN Philippines. And our guest today, basketball analyst Juan Banal and former Gilas team captain Gabe Norwood of the Rain or Shine Lasso Painters. And Gabe, Juan, and I are breaking down the game, of course, fifth window when Gilas takes on Jordan 12 midnight tonight. Well, that's technically tomorrow. Juan, what can you tell us about Jordan? Here's that question. What should we expect when we face Jordan? Are they as tough as Lebanon? Will they give Gilas a hard time?
Well, I think they're very much organized. When you look at the statistics comparison between Philippines and Jordan, they win in 4 different categories. They have a higher percentage in terms of field goal shooting. They have more assists in terms of average, and then they like running the floor. Even if they're older than us, they like pushing the ball and running. And they have a main guy that scores a lot. They have around 4 guys that actually averages double digit, but it's Dar Tucker that actually is a deadly offensive force for them. And so we are going to be put to the test. Our maturity, their ability to maintain composure during the game is their advantage. To the teams that we've lost, which they've also played against, they have lesser margins of losses. So I think that's also spells, more or less explains the advantage that Jordan has against us. But I'm, quite confident. I heard that we had good practice yesterday. It was finally a complete lineup, and we're optimistic that we can sweep this.
Gabe, are you familiar with Jordan? What should Gilas watch out against this particular Jordan team? I know every time you beat Jordan, it was also very competitive before, but how about this particular team that we will be facing in the fifth window?
Yeah, in terms of guard play, I haven't come across too many. I don't believe Tucker was there. Maybe one game that we played. Ibrahim, another guard that they have that has performed well just in these past couple games where I've got to watch them. But their bigs are who I'm more familiar with. Zaid Abbas has been around forever. He's pretty much their version of Japeth, long, athletic. He's played in the CBA. He's been an import all over the place. Mm-hmm. But also Hussein and Wari down there on the block were young guys when I was still playing. So they're big guys. They're wings that I'm a little bit more familiar with, who are all high-level players that have given us trouble in the past.
One fearless forecast for Gilas. Kaya bang i-sweep itong fifth window, beat Jordan tonight, and then beat Saudi Arabia on Sunday?
I think there's a chance that we could. There's a strong chance that we could with the kind of lineup that we have and the confidence that Coach Schott has, because these are not new guys. What Gabe mentioned, there's chemistry already. We have height, we have speed, we're younger. We have that some sort of experience as well. So it's all a matter of clicking in the floor. And I'm confident with the way these players are peaking in their own careers at this point and then putting them all together in one team, that's a scary lineup.
Gabe, same thoughts?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I just like the timing of it all. Everybody's in full swing with their seasons, whether it's here or abroad, and just getting them all together in this setting. I think it could be, a good thing getting in 2 wins.
Gabe, quickly, we have 2 minutes left on the show. You have a new import, Rain or Shine, and you will face Bay Area Dragons tomorrow. New import, Ryan Pearson. What can you tell us about your new import? And, of course, you still have been struggling, Rain or Shine, in this conference, but tell us more. And then when you will be facing also a really tough team in Bay Area tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been a battle of consistency for us this conference. We're right in the middle of the pack, but Ryan coming in, George Mason alum like myself. I have some years on him, but he's definitely coming in excited. Left-handed, versatile player, undersized 4 through college, but has been able to kind of expand from his pro career. But it was unfortunate. We're happy to have Steve Taylor with us. He gave us great games, great effort, and hopefully we can get it all together here against East Bay. We don't know what import's going to be, so
it's going to be prepared. Yep, it's going to be a big one, and we will call you after the game. And who knows, maybe tomorrow, Gilas, when both of you are hopefully available tomorrow morning. Let's make it happen. Juan, I think we found your replacement already. Gabe Norwood, our new analyst here on the show. Thank you both for taking time. Thank you, guys, and we will all be watching Gilas staying up late tonight. That was basketball analyst Juan Banal, and thank you as well to former Gilas team captain Gabe Norwood of the Rain or Shine Lasso Painters. We've